Today we are asking the question, is it okay to lie to children? To determine whether or not this is a question of ethics, we ask the following 4 questions. First, we ask the question, is there a single correct answer? In this case, there is no single correct answer to our proposed question, and so we move on to the next question. Now we ask, is it about some fundamental issue or idea? In this case, it is about lying, and so we answer yes and move on to the next question. The third question we ask is, can the question exist in itself outside of law, belief, social norms, or religion? In this case, no, and so we move on to the next question. Finally, we ask, is it a question based on whether or not the results will make the best life for human beings? In this case, yes, and so we find that the question, is it okay to lie to children, is a question of ethics. Now that we have found our question is a question of ethics, we are going to take you through 4 philosophers' views on ethics in order to determine how each one would answer our question. First, we'll ask Aquinas, then Kant, then Mill, and finally Aristotle.
In the 6th century BC, the Italian philosopher St. Thomas Aquinas came up with the idea of natural law. He quoted, "Natural law is a philosophy that certain rights are inherent by virtue of human nature, endowed by nature, God, or a transcendent source, and can be understood universally through human reason." He believed that reason is found in God. Aquinas believed that natural law is a participation in the eternal law. Aquinas states that the eternal law is a rational plan by which all creation is ordered. The natural law is the way that the human participates in the eternal law. Thomas goes on to define law as a rule of action put into place by one who cares for the community. And as God has care of the entire universe, God's choosing to bring into existence beings who can act freely in accordance with principles of reason is enough to justify our thinking of those principles of reason as law. So when we ask the question, is it okay to lie to children? Aquinas would answer like so. In order that men might have knowledge of God, free of doubt and uncertainty, it was necessary for divine truth to be delivered to them by way of faith, being told to them as it were by God himself who cannot lie. Truth consists in a correspondence between the thing signified and the signification of it. Man has the power, as a reasonable and social being, of manifesting his thoughts to his fellow men. Right order demands that in this he should be truthful. If the external manifestation is at variance with the inward thought, the result is a want of right order, a monstrosity in nature, a machine which is out of gear, whose parts do not work together harmoniously. So what about events like Christmas, Easter, or even a child losing a tooth? Do we tell them Santa, the bunny, and Tooth Fairy are not real? You do not want to be the one crushing a small child's dream, but are these lies causing more harm than good? Think about it this way. What happens as a child gets older and thinks it's okay to tell lies in order to please or make someone else happy? Put in serious manners, lies, whether small or big, can be detrimental for the child's future.
Now we are going to discuss Kant's ethical views and how he might answer the question, is it okay to lie to children? Kant's ethical beliefs were very black and white in that he believed that certain actions were strictly prohibited. Kant does not care about the result of the action, only the motivation. In order to be ethical, it must be motivated by duty. In his view, Kant determines if an action is good or bad by the motivation behind it.
Created using Powtoon.